So last time we reviewed the code, reviewed every script, and also we added a visual effect for placing the towers. So now the tower holders have a sprite render on them. Let me show you first. Today we'll add some sound effects and we'll fix some bugs because we have some issues. So now when you try to place a tower, you see the tower holders. Okay, there is one issue that is not a little bit too small. That's one thing we want to change. For that, we'll go to the import setting of the square because we use this a square image for that. So if you put here in the pixels per unit the exact size of this image, in this case it's 50, it's 500 times 500. If you put the exact value, then the holder, the sprite render on the holder will cover the whole area. If it's bigger, the pixel per unit here, if it's bigger, then the square will be smaller in game. Or make it slightly smaller than the whole area. Okay, that's one thing. Let's add some sound effects. I don't have sound effects for everything, but we have for the bomb, for the arch, for getting hit. This is for the coins and when enemies and towers disappear. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is for the plant. When it shoots the projectile, yes, that's what that is. We have shoot. Let's see. Okay. Let me show you how to make sound effects. We spawn them as game objects with the audio source on that object. And when the sound is finished, we destroy it from the scene. But for that, we need a script first that will destroy the sound effect after it's finished. Let's do that first. Let's call it sound effect. So we'll make an audio source variable that will hold the audio source. In the start, we get the audio source from the object. In update, we check if the sound stopped playing. So if the audio source is playing, and we put an auto operator, so if it's not playing, we destroy the object, destroy game object. Now we can start making sound effects. Let's start with the plant first. Okay, so we'll call this plant shoot sound effect. Let's add the audio source. Make sure this is a 2D sound here in the 3D settings. Where it says spatial blend, we want this to be 2D. So that means we hear it the same regardless of the position of this object. Let's add the sound here in the audio generator. Okay, make sure this doesn't loop. It does not loop. And now we have the sound effect script that will destroy the sound after it is finished. Okay, let's make a prefab folder here in the audio folder. Actually, I'll rename this to sound effects because we'll have background music and sound effects. Okay, you have the shoot. Now you can take this prefab, unpack it, and make another sound for the collision of the projectile of the plant. We'll say plant projectile sound effect. Sound, let's add a sound here. We can save this as a prefab. Now I'll go to the tower script and make an array of sound effects. Um, Actually, never mind, never mind. No, that's correct. Yes, let's make an array for the sound effects. So these are game objects. We'll make a function that spawns the sound effect, and the reason is when we get to the archer, we want to spawn those sound effects at a specific point in the attack animation of the archer. So for that, we have to create a public function that we can use as an event on a certain frame of the animation. We'll say public spawn sound effect, public void. And then we have the index of the sound. We simply spawn it at the position of this object. Okay, now that we have this, we can go to the plant script. And here in the spawn projectile function, this basically spawns the object at a certain part of the attack animation. We use it as an event on the animation. So here we also want to add the sound effect. So we'll say tower script, spawn sound effect, and let's say it's 0. Okay, that's for the projectile. When it spawns, we also want to add an effect when the projectile collides with the enemy here. So this is the script that's on the projectile. We'll create another game object variable, the collision sound effect. So here when we spawn the visual effect, we also spawn the audio effect. Okay, that should be everything. So now we can go to the prefab of the plant and add the sound effects to the scripts. Okay, so this is just us here. Okay, so let's go to the plant script, plant prefab. Go down to the tower script. Okay, now we go to the prefab of the projectile. Okay, let's test it now. That works, but the sound is too high. Let me check. That's a bit too high. I'll just stop this guy here, the enemy from moving. Oh, so now let's go to the prefabs, change the volume a little bit. And we have to do this for each tower. I'll just let these guys. Yeah, that seems to work. Still way too loud. I'd also like to add some visual effects for the projectile of the plant. Let's see if we can add a trail to that. Okay, so this is the projectile, and I have some trails. I think this is it. Um, let's see how it looks first. Yeah, it's not that one. Yep, it's not that one. Okay, I'll delete that. I don't know how to change the color of this. Wait, it's not this either. So which one is it? Oh, it's supposed to be that one. Okay. Try again, I guess. I'll go here. It says it's pink, but it's actually white in game. I don't know how to change this. Let's see. One more time. Okay, that's a bit better. Yep, that's much better. Now I also like to add an animation for those tower holders. Let's add an animator to this. I have to create an animator controller. Create tower holder. Add that here to the animator component. So we'll see if we can do it in the animation panel. If it doesn't work, we have to make it by code. Tower holder. Let's see if we can add the color property of the sprite renderer. Yes, we can. Let me enable the sprite renderer so we can see it. Okay. Let's see. Let's add another frame here. Wait. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. And in the middle, we want to make this more transparent. We make it almost invisible. Something like this. Let's see how that looks. It's not looking good. Because here, oh wait. Here at the last frame, I want to make it visible again. And save that. Let's see now. Yep, that looks good. Maybe slightly slower. Okay, works well. Time to test. Let's see. Yep, seems to work correctly. But I think it's when it's transparent, it's too transparent. Yep. I like to change two things here. One is the color, the other is um, the transparency here in the middle. Okay. Now let's change the color to something like light green. So I have to go to each um, frame here and change the color. Okay. Just that one more time. Oh, it seems to, at one frame it is white. See where we made the mistake. Oh, we can actually change it from here. I didn't know that. Oh, here, the first frame. Also great. Sound effective and the volume on one lower. Okay, we have that now. We have the animation on that. Make some more sound effects, one for the archer. I just drag the prefab of one effect. We can unpack it. So it's no longer a prefab. We want this to be at the beginning of the attack animation of the archer. Say archer attack sound effect. Save it. Now we can go to the archer. We want this sound effect in the tower script. Now we can go to the animation of the archer here. To the attack animation, and at the start we can place an event that will spawn that sound effect. Okay, so now we spawn that. Let's see how it sounds first. Yeah, that's a bit too early. That's a bit too early in the animation. Also, I don't like the color on that tower holder. I'll change it back to white. And it will be simpler to change it to white. We don't have to go to the color. We can just change it in here. If we put one on the red, green, and blue, that means white. Okay, we fixed that. Now let's go to the archer and change where that sound is found. Okay, we want to spawn it. I don't know if we can have two events here. Uh, can we have two events? Let's see. Oh, we can actually have two events. I did not know that. I did not know that. Now we can delete this event. Oh wow, okay. Did not know that. Can have two at the same position. So we spawn the arrows and also at the same time the sound effect. Let's see. Yep, now that sounds good. Okay, that's one sound effect. We also have a sound effect for the, let's see how it's called actually, because I forgot. Yes, to draw the bow here. Okay, so we do the same thing. We drag our prefab software, we unpack it, renaming this, so we'll say archer bow drag, replace the sound. Okay, save that as a prefab. Now we add this to our archer prefab in the tower script as a second sound effect in the array. And now we go to the animation again. And we'll put it at the start. So the second one in the array. Start one more time. Yep, that sounds very nice. Okay, now I noticed that those arrows do not have any explosion on contact. So let's see if I have assets for that. We have the arrow target, arrow effect. Oh, this is supposed to be the effect. Yes. Uh, so we need to go to the arrow here, the arrow script. Does it have this too? Yes, it does have. But we cannot see it for some reason. Let's see why that is. This is on layer 3, the explosion of the arrow. So it should be on top of everything. Oh yes, we have it here on the arrow, I think. Let's see. Yes, but we do not spawn it. We forgot to add a line of code here. So we do this here on collision with the enemy before destroying the arrow. We spawn the sound, the visual effect. Oh, visual effect. Also, there's no sound for that. I have some sound effects for when the towers and the enemies get hit. Let's also add that. So let's say, well, we have two of those. Have this. Sound, yes. So have this, and then this. I like this for the arrows. Okay, and then this one. For the towers. Okay, let's do that. So I'll change this to get hit, and then this one to arrow collision, let's say. Somebody joined us. Let's see who is it. Oh, Demolisher. Thank you, Demolisher, for being here. Okay, so let's make the sound effect for when we get hit. Then we call get hit sound effect. Add our sound here. Save it as a prefab. And we want to add this to both towers and enemies. We'll say public game object get hit sound effect. I'll copy this line to the enemy script as well. And we spawn this when we get hit. Copy this line from here. We do that regardless of if the enemy dies or not from the damage. We'll do it here outside this if else here. Sound effect. Yeah, I'll copy this line also. Go to the tower script, add that here when we get hit, same logic, exactly the same. Okay, now we have the get hit effect. I want the collision of the arrows here. So we'll go to the archer arrow script and say game object collision sound effect. Found that on collision. So here on trigger enter. When we spawn the visual effect, we also spawn the sound effect. Okay, who left? Somebody left. Oh, it was the motion. Okay, we have the scripts ready. Oh, I mistype here. Now we can add our sound effects to the scripts. But first, we want to create the sound effect for the arrows. Okay, so again we drag on prefab and pack it. This one will be arrow collision sound effect. Okay. Now we go to the arrow prefab here, add our sound effect. And now we have to go to each. Actually, you can select all of them. I think at the same time. Yes, we can select all of these and other get hit. So we can select all the towers and that get hit sound effect. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Oh, also the enemies here. We have to get hit effect. Okay. Let's see. Now we should have the sound effects for Darwin to get hit. Yep. Yep, that looks pretty good. I don't know about the position of those. I don't know about the position of those explosion on the arrows. Oh, hello, Pickle. Thank you for joining. We're adding sound effects right now. So we have an issue not with the sound effect, but with the explosion on the arrow, and the arrow collides. Right now, if you click the arrows here and select the arrow, you see that's the center of the arrow. That's where we spawn the explosion. We want to spawn it at the end of the arrow here. So we'll create an empty object that will represent the spawn position for the explosion. So we'll say explosion spawn. Okay, we'll select it exactly at the end here. And I have to modify the script a little bit here. We have to create a variable of type transform for that position. say destroy effect. Oh. And then here on collision with the enemy where we spawn the visual effect, we change this from transform position to destroy effect spawn position. Now we have to go to the prefab of the arrow and add that empty object to the script. And Pickle, I will show you, we also changed the visual effect of those holders, the tower holders. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so first let's fix the arrow here. Without that empty object here. Let's test it one more time. Now we should see those explosions on the enemy, not at the center of the arrow. Yep. That's better. Although we could create, because you see right now they're clustered together, those explosions. What we can do is we can create a random position a little bit. We can add an offset here to this destroy effect spawn, so that they're not so close to each other. Let's see. Okay, let's try let's try horizontally to place them differently. So let's say float minimum distance. Let's try some very small values first. Okay. Now create the random distance. So when we spawn this projectile, I mean the explosion of the arrow, we want to add an offset to that a little bit to the right, and that will be a random value between these two. So here we say random.range. This will create a random number between the minimum and the maximum. Okay, and here we can add that position here plus vector 3 right times that distance, random distance that we created. We could also do that vertically, but there is one problem, which is the enemies are of different height. So if you do that, we also if you do that, we want to create a very small distance vertically, smaller than the horizontal one. But let's see how it looks like this for now. So you see, Pickle, we added the animation to the tower holders, which we have to adjust a little bit. So you see now when you select the tower, we have this here. It's a bit too visible. Let's see. I feel like the distance is too small. I'll change the maximum here to like, if that's 2, then let's say, well, I don't even know how much is 1. Oh, no, okay, I see. Okay, never mind. So let's say like maximum step. And also let's change the transparency of the tower holder. I don't like that it is that visible. Okay. Uh, so we did this with the animation, not by script. It's very simple to modify it because we don't have to go to the sprite center. We can change the values in here. So let's see, right now we have 0.4 at the beginning, in the middle 1.5. Let's try 3 here. Or 20, 25. 0.25. Um, okay, now it should be more transparent. And also we should see the explosions a little bit with more distance from each other. Oh, yes. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yep. We could also add a bit of vertical distance. Okay, so we'll change the code a little bit. Let's say x minimum distance x. So here, this is for the so we first create a random distance on the x-axis. I'll copy paste this, and I will create one for the y. For this, we can select a value between a negative value and a positive value, probably a small one. Let's say minus 0.15 and 0.15. Okay, we create that. So here we also add an offset of a vertical offset. So we say vector 3 up times that random number, which can be positive or negative. Wait, one second. Okay, somebody was messaging. Okay. So now we also separate those projectiles horizontally. I mean vertically. Yes, Sean. I'll see you. Okay, let's see what else we have to do. So after we fix this, we have to make an effect for the bump, for the coins when we click the coins, and when enemies and towers get destroyed. Also, I think that's everything. And then we can think about some new towers or enemies. Also, we have to create a system for spawning the enemies. Let me see one more time. Yep. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Uh, Although I'm looking at this. I realized we could have done this a bit differently. because right now we spawn those explosions at the tip of the arrow, and then we add a little bit of offset. But we could have spawned those um, at the enemy position. Actually here. I don't know if that's better or worse. I'm not sure. Because you can spawn this at the enemy position and then at some offset. I prefer it like this. Keep it like this. So here, random, we create a random horizontal offset. And vertical offset. And here, when we spawn it, we add that offset here. But I can make it a bit more clear. So here, let's separate the code a little bit. So we'll make a vector 3 here, vector 3 offset equal to that stuff here. Okay, so it's a bit uh, more organized, and here we got the offset instead of that. Okay, so you see the tip of the hour plus the offset. Okay, uh, so another two audio effects, one for the bump and one for the destroy effect, the visual effect. Okay, let's select one again, one audio effect from here, drag it in the scene. We unpack it so it's no longer a prefab. Let's start with the bump. The bump explosion sound effect. Now we drag our sound here, the audio source. Save this as a prefab. Go to the for bump prefab. Let's say here we add the sound effect to our sound effects array. Now in code, when we spawn the explosion, so here on collision with enemy, we also spawn that sound effect. This is not commented here. I forgot to comment this. Let me comment this. So here on collision, if tower is active, because we don't want the bomb to explode while we're about to place it on the terrain. So here, collision, if collider is enemy, respond the visual effect. Now the holder below is empty now. Here we use the overlap circle function to get all the enemies in range of the bomb. So we find all enemies in range. For each one, we deal the damage. So we deal damage to all enemies. Here we just destroy the bomb. And somewhere in here we have to place the audio effect. We place it here when we spawn the explosion. So we say tower script that sound effect, and it's just one, so the first one 0. That array. Now we have the sound effect on the bomb. Let's create the effect for enemies and towers that get destroyed, and also when we click the coins, and we'll have to add background music. I have an idea for another tower. It's just it's a wizard that strikes with lightning multiple enemies, and it stuns them for a little bit. I will do that after we finish this. I don't know if I have that visual effect for the lighting. I have to search for that first. So where were we? Yes, the sound effect for when the when stuff gets destroyed. I'll call it puff because that's how it sounds. Let me show you the sound effect. Is this here? You see? So this will we use this on enemy and tower death and when we pick the coins. Save this as a prefab. Let's start with the coin first. Go to the coin prefab here. We'll open the coin script. Well, don't need the coin script actually because we do this from the game manager. So if you go here to the game manager, we have the logic for clicking coins here. We want to spawn that sound effect here if we touch a coin. I'll say spawn sound effect here. Okay. Let's have an array of sound effects in the game manager. And here we spawn, let's say the first one is the coin sound effect. Copy the instantiate function. Sound effects 0. Okay. I made an array in case later we need to have multiple sound effects. Is there an error somewhere? What is this? I don't know what. Okay. You have an error here. I don't know why is this here. Copying the file failed. What file? Because I did not do anything. You might have to restart the project. I don't know what this is. Let's see if you wrote this correctly. Seems to be correct. Yeah, we have an error here. Don't know why that is. I double click on it, nothing happens. So we have to restart the project. I'm sorry about this. Wait, if I save it, does it work? No. Yeah, we'll have to restart it. I'm sorry. Okay, if you guys have questions or suggestions of what we should do next. So I have an idea for one more tower. But other than that, I don't have many ideas. Pickle, please use the the chat above this voice chat. So we have to. Oh yes, that's we need the menu screen. Also, we need um to be able to select levels, and in each levels in each level we'll have a different towers we can use. So we also have to create the logic for that. So each level has its own towers. You do not have all the towers in each level. Yes, we need a lot of we need more enemies. But we have some issues right now. We have some bugs actually. Um, okay, for example, there is a bug where we take a tower and before we can place it, the enemy attacks it. So we don't want the enemies to attack the tower while we're holding it and we try to place it. Uh, so to fix that, we'll use the physics layer of the towers because the enemy targets only towers. So what we'll do is we'll give it the default layer. So we give the default physics layers to the towers prefabs, and what we change that to the tower layer at the exact moment that we place it. So that way the enemies cannot target towers that are not placed. So we have to change the code a little bit for that. Um, yeah, we'll do a menu today. Actually, we'll do that after this. Um, I forgot what we're doing the sound effect. Okay, so we have the array here of sound effects. Is that our sound effect? Ah, I lost it. Okay, this is okay. Okay. Now on the enemies and the towers, on that we want to spawn that audio effect. Now I call this that effect here. Um, I guess we'll call it that SFX. That means sound effect. We want to spawn it when we die from the damage here. So next to the visual effect, we say audio effect. Okay, I'll copy this line of code because the enemy script is the same. So here, after the visual effect, we spawn that. We need a variable also. And since these scripts are on all enemies and all towers, we can place the sound effect on multiple objects at the same time. Yeah, we have a very, very big bug. Actually, we have two bugs right now. We have one which is enemies attack towers that are not placed. So while we're holding it with the mouse, there is another one which I don't know what happens, which is the cucumber enemy. After it kills a tower, it starts moving. It does not target another tower. I don't know why that is. We'll have to see why that happens. Let's select all enemies first. Go to the enemy script. That our sound effect. Okay, let's do the same for the towers. Select everything. Here, search for our effect. Okay, we have that. Let's see. Now the coins produced by the woodcutter should have the sound effect. I'll have to look into why the cucumber does not target another tower after it kills one. I don't know why that happens. But let's fix the bug, which is uh, enemies target towers that are not placed. Let's see the sound effect first. We place some woodcutters here. Oh wait. Yep, we have that. As you can see, sound effect. Let's test the bomb. Uh, I'll put some here. Okay. Because that guy is not moving at the moment, I'll just drag it. I'll select it here in the hierarchy and then drag it to a bomb. So that works too. Have the bump sound effect. Yeah, everything seems to work. Let's fix the bug where the enemy targets towers that are not placed. So we'll select all towers here and change the layer to the default layer. Um, that's the first thing. And now I have to change the code. When we place it, at that exact moment, we change the layer to the tower layer. Okay, so let's see. Go to the moving tower movement logic. So here, when we click and when we can place it, You cannot hear the sound. Oh, I did not know that. Let me see why that is. Um, Wait, I'll close it and reopen it. I don't know. Let's see the settings here. Mute stream. Oh, my bad. Why didn't you guys tell me that? Okay. Uh, sorry about that. Okay, guys. Now you should have sounds. Let me know if you can hear. Let me try. Sorry, I did not know. Okay. Let me know if you can hear this. Can you hear it now? Pickle, can you hear it? Okay. So we have that. Sorry, I did not. I had the settings. I did not know. We also have the archer sound here. Okay. Let me show you the others as well. The woodcutter and the bomb. So as you have this on the coin. Sorry guys, I did not know about the sound. And also let me show you the bomb. We have that. Okay. So we're about to fix the bug with the targeting of the enemies. So we're here at the tower movement logic. So when we click and there is a holder and that holder is empty, we place the tower here. In this part here, we place the tower and do what's necessary. Uh, we have to change the layer of the tower. So here we'll get the tower script, or actually we can do it at the beginning here. I can so change the tower physics layer. Okay, so select the tower that layer equal, and I hope it works like this. I hope it works with a string. It's okay, Apple. I'll see you. Pickle, how much time do we have? Because I have time to do the menu as well. Okay, I'll see. Okay, no problem. We can stop. That's okay. Uh, I don't think this works with the string. I think we need the number of the layer. So it's 7. Yeah, it is a number. It's not a string. Let's see when we place it, if it changes the layer. In that case, we're done for today. Uh, I will actually create from now on when we do a project. I will create a channel for that project, so you guys can give me suggestions. Therefore, that specific project. Okay, time to test. Let's see. Place this. Let's select it. Oh, oh, my bad. Yeah, it works. It works, but I placed the incorrect number here. It's 6, not 7. So it does work. Yes. Okay, that fixed that. Okay, so that's everything. Pickle, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Uh, we'll see what we do. I'll take suggestions as well.